Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to teach you how to play an amazing game, chess. So chess has quite a few rules, so it's time to get familiar with them. So this is how a chessboard is set. There are 64 squares in 8 by 8 square grid, and I'll just tell you the names of the pieces. These are called rooks. These are called knights. These are called bishops. This is called king. This is called queen, and these are all called pawns. 8 pawns on the line. So these lines, the vertical lines, they are called files. Now, how are files named? So if you can see here below the pieces, there are some letters. Here C, there is C here. There is D, E, F, G, H, A, B, A to H. So this line is called the H file. This is called the G file, and so on and so on. The horizontal lines are called ranks. How are ranks named? So there are numbers here. So this is the 8th rank. This is the 8th rank. This is the 7th rank. This is the 6th rank, and so on. So now let me teach you the rules. So let's learn how all the pieces move first. So as you remember, I hope you do. These pieces are called rooks. So they move in straight lines, horizontally or vertically, as many number of squares they want. Next are knights. So knights have the specialty of jumping over squares. This is how they move. They'll move two steps in any direction, like two, and then one step to the left or the right. So left and right, anywhere they can move. So the knight can come here, here, or here. Similarly, one, two, and right, still not left. So this was knights. Next, we come to bishops. So bishops move diagonally in any direction they want, and throughout the game they remain only in one color of square, dark squares or light squares, and they can never shift square, like the bishop can never come here. Next we see queens. So queens are pretty universal, they can go in any direction, horizontally or diagonally or vertically. These are all the squares that the queen can access from where she currently is. So this was it. Then we have kings. So kings are the most important piece of the game. If you lose your king, you lose the game. So kings can't move much. They can only move like one square in every direction. That's it. Lastly, we have pawns. So pawns, they have a special. They move one step every time they go. So now let me teach you some special rules. So first, let's come to special pawn rules. So let me just set up a small structure for you guys to see. Suppose we have a structure like this. And in every single chess position that you see, it is pretty necessary to have a king. Like it is not possible to have a chess position without a king. So that's why we put the kings. Because if the king is gone, you lose the game. So the game gets over, and then there's no other position. So now pawns they have the special rule that what happens is, now this pawn has never moved in the game because pawns always start on the second rank for white. So, so all of these pawns have never moved yet. Only this pawn has moved one square. So now what pawns do is they can move on their first chance. Like these four pawns which have not moved yet, they can move two squares on their first chance, like directly from here to here. And then obviously black makes the next move. So suppose Even if he wants, he too can come here. And then it's white's chance again. He can get this pawn here. Even black can do the same. Now if white wants, he can even even play this pawn one square ahead. It's not necessary to always play two squares ahead. So that was pawn rules. And now it's time to get to capture how to capture pieces. So in chess, what happens if you have a piece here and another and an opponent's piece here, and if you move your piece such that it lands on the opponent's piece is taken off the board and it is said to be captured or eaten. So every single piece that I taught you how they move, they capture in the same way. Like the knight, I just showed you. If there's a queen, if there is a knight here and an opponent rook here, just takes it simply. Similarly, if there's a rook here, just takes it simply. So it's the same for every single piece I showed you, except for the pawn. Like if there is now, if I get another rook here, captures. Then queen here, queen will capture, and a king. There's a king and the queen comes here and capture. It's like that. So that was it. Other than pawns. So now what happens for pawns is you just learn the special pawn moving rule, how they move. So if this is a position and the pawn decides to move two squares ahead, this pawn also decides to come two squares ahead. Now pawns, they can't capture like this. So suppose if I put say a bishop here, this bishop can't be captured by the pawn. Pawns capture only diagonally. If there is something possible to capture, then pawns can capture diagonally. So this pawn can capture this pawn like this. So that was how pawns capture. Now there is a special pawn capture also, which I'm going to teach you. So let me just get up a pawn structure. So imagine this to be a pawn structure. So black, it's white's chance first. So white plays. Wait, uh, sorry about that. Yes. So white decides to play this. Then black decides, why not? Let's just prevent some eating and capturing, and let's just escape like this with this special double pawn move. So what happens in such a case? If a pawn moves two squares on its chance, and there is a pawn immediately to the right or to the left of it, then on the next chance, that pawn can capture it. So how? Because I just told you pawns capture only like this or this. So this is a special rule. If a pawn moves two chances and there is a pawn right to the next of it, like left or right, here in this case it's on the right. On the immediate next chance, this pawn can play this, capturing capturing this previous pawn. So this is a special move. It's called en passant. How this works. So, but however, if you play this and then suppose I just decide to play this and then you play this, here I can't capture your pawn. Why? Because I had to capture it on the immediate next turn. Similarly, if I play this and you play this, I can't capture your pawn like this because it has not moved two chances. So that is how the en passant capture works. Then next we come to the special rule called castling. So now what happens? It is really important for the king to remain safe. Okay, before castling, let's discuss checks. So what happens is if we just play some random moves for the opening, I'll just play some moves. Suppose suppose he decides to come here, maybe like this. Yeah. Yes. And here black decides to take the knight. Obviously it's a possible move because bishops always move diagonally. So decides. Now what happens is the bishop is attacking the king. And as mentioned, the king is the most important piece. So when it's attacked, you can't just leave it like that. So whenever a king is attacked in such a manner, it's called a check. It's called a check. So there are three ways to prevent a check. One is you block the check. Uh, you put a piece between the king and the checking piece. Another way is to just kill the attacking piece if it's possible to, like this, and just kill the attacking piece. This is the next way, and the last way is to remove the king from where it is getting checked. So these are the ways how king can escape check. Now you must be wondering when the game ends. So the game ends if the king is in check and it has no possible squares to go to. So let me just give you an example of that. So suppose just showing you an opening like trap sort of thing. No, there's no need to memorize this. I'm just showing you an example of checkmate. So now look at this position. The black king in this position has no squares to go to. You see, this square is protected by the bishop. This square is also protected by the bishop. This square is protected by the knight. And the knight also protects the bishop. Therefore, the king can't capture. Because if the king captures, it moves in check. And we can't allow that. This square is protected by the knight. And these squares are black's own pieces. And you know that you can't capture your very own pieces. So that is how it's a checkmate. So checkmate is a position wherein the checkmated king loses the game as he has no squares to go to and he is in check. So this was checkmate. There are a few other ways to win. If the opponent decides here that he knows he's going to lose, then he can choose to resign and give up. That is one more way of winning. And the other way is that if you're playing on a clock, there are chess clocks. So if you play on them, if you run out of time, you lose the game. So we have one more special rule here. So this, let's see. After here white decides the king needs to be safe. Like it's a bit unsafe in the center. The queen can come here, the bishop can come and attack. So it's a bit unsafe. So the king decides that he must get to safety. So one of the ways of doing this is called castling. Now castling is a special move between the king and a rook, any one rook. So there are a few rules if you want to castle. Number one, the king and the rook should not have moved yet. Like if the king has suppose moved and then it has come back. Now you can't castle because the king has already moved. But here you can castle. So in castling what happens? It happens between a king and any one rook. So it can happen with this one or this one. What happens is the king moves two steps towards the rook and the rook comes on the other side of the king. So I'll just show you how it works. This is how it works. It is one whole move and it is the only exception to the knight where a piece can jump over other and also the only chance in chess where you can move two pieces together. So this is a rule. The king will move two spaces and the rook will come on the other side of the king. Now what are the rules to castle? Number one, I said the rook and the king should not have moved previously. Number two, the king should not be in check. For example, just play some moves. Here. Now the king can't castle to get out of check. The only three ways to get out of check are, as I mentioned, blocking or capturing the piece or running or just removing your king here maybe or here possibly. These are the only ways to get out of check. Uh, yeah. Also, suppose just get a fresh position. Just playing some moves to show you one more idea. Yes, the Evans Gambit. If you watch a Gladiator, you know the Evans Gambit. Just showing some moves. Yeah, and here white decides to play this. For whatever reason, he decides to play this. Black plays this. And here white decides to castle. Now black, he too wants to get his king to safety, but he can't castle. Why? because one of the squares which the king has to go through, the two squares that you remember, the two squares. So one of the squares is actually controlled by a bishop. So that's why it's not allowed. So that is how it is. But one more like special rule. So just show you some more things. For whatever reason, black is playing these, white and black are playing these moves, whatever it may be. And here, black can actually castle because the bishop is not sorry, the bishop is not protecting a square where the king has to pass through. The king is not passing through this square. So that's why this castling is allowed actually. Only the rook is passing through and the rook can move through a capturable place. It is a legal move, completely legal. So that was about the few rules of castling. Also, there should be no pieces between your king and rook. The rook which you want to castle with while you're castling. So you can't castle in this position because there are two pieces here. So now there are three possible ways to end the game: a win for white, a win for black, or a draw. So I already taught you how to win, uh, and there are a couple of ways to draw. Before that, let me teach you one last special rule. Again, it belongs to the pawn. So let me just set up a position for you guys. So suppose this be a position. So it's white's chance again this time. So white decides to just push his pawn. So now what happens is when you get to the like last rank, for white it's the eighth rank and for black it's the first rank. You can choose your pawn to become any one of these pieces. It can be a bishop, a rook, a knight, or a queen. So in this position, suppose I want to take a queen, just for the simplicity of getting checkmate. So the rule is whenever a pawn reaches its final square, it can become any one piece which it wants to. That is the main rule which I'm trying to explain. And the last thing we're going to cover today is ways to draw the game. So let's set up another position. Yes, let this be the position. So now what happens is it's white's chance again. So let's see, this pawn can't move because the king blocks it. The black king is blocking it. So if the king moves, the king has few moves. It can't, remember, two kings can never stand together as they'll be in check. So the king can't come here. This square is covered by the king's pawn. So the king can come here, 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 or here. Uh, so if the king comes here, now it's black's chance, right? Because white just played. So what do you think black can do? Black has no other pieces anywhere. So the only piece he can move is the king. However, he's already on the square. This square is covered by the pawn. You remember pawns like pawns capture and threaten diagonally. So the king can't come here. The king can't come here because the king guards the square. This means the black has no legal moves to play. So you might think this is also a checkmate of some sort, but the rule for checkmate is the checkmated king has to be in check. But there is no piece checking the king here. So as a result, this position is called a stalemate and it's called a draw. So stalemate occurs when the char the color whose chance it is, they have no legal moves to make. So that was stalemate. So now what if here in this position white decided to play this to prevent stalemate because he has a pawn and he wants to win by getting it to the last square and getting a queen. Now black can simply come here but he'll rather choose to capture the pawn, suppose if he captures the pawn. So now there is no way of achieving checkmate because there is this is a known fact. There is no way of achieving checkmate when there are only two kings. It's called insufficient material, and again it's a draw. So this position is also a draw. So this ends up as a draw. Next, we have more ways to draw. So suppose first let me tell you what all are the insufficient materials possible. So two kings are obviously insufficient. A king and a knight versus another king is also insufficient. So this position is also a draw. A king and a bishop is also insufficient. So this position also ends up in a draw. Now there is a lot of controversy about a king and two knights. Is that sufficient or insufficient? So let me tell you, technically it is possible to achieve checkmate with two knights. Suppose this is a position. This is a checkmate. Okay, it's not exactly a checkmate. This is a checkmate. This position. So, but this can only happen if black plays foolishly. So, in beginner level chess, maybe you may not agree to a draw when you actually reach the stage, but in top level chess, the stage is considered drawn. You can achieve checkmate with a bishop and a knight. You can also achieve it with two bishops. Uh, you can achieve checkmate with a single queen. Like if you remove these two, you can achieve checkmate with a single queen. You can also achieve checkmate with a single rook. So these are the sufficient materials, and a pawn is obviously enough because there is always hope. You're going to get it to the last square. That is the hope. Another way to draw is if the two players agree that there is no way to go ahead, and they say, yeah, let's agree to a draw. That is one more way to draw. Next few more ways are, suppose if I have this position, like if I have this position, so yeah, I decide to play this, black decides to play this, I decide to play this. So this is the second time it's repeating, and third time this position is considered a draw. So if a position repeats itself three times in a game, it's considered a draw. And the last, there are two more ways to draw. So the second last is, suppose now this black king, it has sorry, now the black king has insufficient material. White has sufficient, but black has insufficient. So let's see, we are playing on the clock. White has the second left. White plays this, black plays this. White plays this, but he runs out of time. So now black is out of black is does not have sufficient material, and white is out of time. So insufficient material versus timeout is not considered a win for the timeout guy. Sorry, a loss for the timeout guy. It's considered a draw. Now, if you have been following chess for some time, there was a huge controversy in the World Blitz Championship between in the game of Aliria Firouzja and Magnus Carlsen. So basically, the position was somewhat like this: Firouzja had a king, a knight, and three pawns, while Carlsen had a bishop and a king. So Carlsen is the current world champion in all three formats: rapid, classical, and blitz. And Firouzja is a rising prodigy. He's just 17 and plays really good. So here in this position, as you can see, black has insufficient material, and white in this position runs out of time. So according to what I told you, it is supposed to be a draw, right? But what happened in this game was Carlsen, black, was given a win. So why? So the arbiter, the sort of judge in chess, the referee kind of person, he said that the rule is not insufficient material versus timeout. So in this position, actually what happens is, he said that if black can achieve checkmate in any possible way, then it is considered a draw. Sorry, it is considered a win for black. So this position is checkmate, right? Ideally, because white is in check and he has no move to make. So, if checkmate is possible regardless of insufficient material, so insufficient material was what? Checkmate is not possible. Here, checkmate is possible because white's own pieces are just moderate. So, that is how it is. Uh, so, if checkmate is possible and timeout happens, then the timeout person actually loses. So, this was big controversy we had. And the final way to draw is by a move called the 50 move rule. So first, what is a move in chess? Is this a move? Actually not. A move is when both white and black play one move each. So a move would actually be this. This is one move. Not only this. This is one move. So if 50 such moves happen, like just keep on happening and something happens. So if 50 moves happen without a single pawn move, like pawns, if in those 50 moves not neither side has moved a pawn or no captures have happened. This is a capture. No captures have happened or no pawn moves have happened. Then after 50 moves, the players can immediately claim a draw. But if neither player wants to claim a draw, then after 75 moves, it automatically becomes a draw, regardless of whether either player wants to claim or not. These were the main and basic rules of chess. So keep watching out for some new videos. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.